Check it out. Special thank you to Flywoo for trusting me again for this review. It's truly an honor to check out their latest drone. The Firefly 16 1S Nano Baby V3 O4 Tiny Drone. Wow, that was a mouthful. Woo, let's fly. They stuffed some spare batteries for me, thank you. Prop guards. Hardware bag. Do not eat. And the drone, nicely wrapped like Christmas. It's so cute. An FC diagram, very important. And my favorite, stickers. I love the big eye in the front. This reminds me of a cute purple minion. The tiny little TPU feet literally made me laugh out loud. It has a RX and VTX antenna holders built right into the canopy. We also have a 1S O4 BEC zip tied to a pigtail with a BT 2.0 connector. Motor wires are neatly plugged in flush to the Flywoo F405S AIO, and the motors used are Robo 1002 23,500 kV. To access Betaflight, it uses a micro USB port. A rectangular TPU print is used to hold the 1S LiPo securely. You can also twist it off and insert different sized holders. The base plate features Flywoo's signature graphical prints, and there are logos also printed on the bottom. The base plate measures 2 millimeters thick, and it feels like CNC aluminum. The frame also features a huge electronic stack full of gummies and is entirely free floating. As you can see, I can push it and the screw pops in and out, which should help with vibration dampening to the O4 camera. So Flywoo provided some 750 1S LiPos and 1000 1S LiPos for me to try. These two LiPos are perfect for longer flight times. The quad itself without props weighs only 37 grams, and with the 750 1S LiPo, it is 54 grams. With the 1000 1S LiPo, the weight is 59 grams. I have a Tattoo brand 450 1S LiPo, and that one's about 49 grams. The 450 1S LiPo slides perfectly in the Flywoo 450 holder. Unfortunately, the pigtail from the quad is too short and can't reach this type of LiPo with a fixed plug. For this quad, it's best to have a LiPo with a pigtail on it. Alright, let's see what's in the bags. So this one's the most obvious one. So we have a bunch of prop guards in case you want to crotch gap someone that you don't know. So to install these, you just simply have to remove these screws, position them in place, bolt them in. The only downside is it increases the width quite a bit, and I think it would affect flight performance too. So I would only use these if you absolutely want to. I guess it would be also safer to fly indoors with these. So it looks like there's a circular ND4 filter in the kit as well, and I was a little confused. So what I did was I proceeded to look at the quad, and I noticed that you can actually remove the wide angle lens. So all you have to do is just simply pull it out. You see how easy that was? It exposes the O4 camera. So it's got these like little nubs on it where you can align it with the back of this. Align it and twist, and there you go. You have a nice protected standard O4 lens with an ND4 on it. And if you don't want any more, you just simply twist it off, and you want to go back to your 155 degree wide angle, push that in there, and you're good to go. All right, let's see what's in this bag of hardware. So we have a lot of props, tiny little screwdriver. I have a few other battery mounts here, 1S1000 and 1S750. And the quad itself already comes with 1S450. And to put it on, I assume you just twist and pull. Let's try it out. Yep, exactly. This is for like securing the motor wire in case you need to wrap the arm again. Looks like a propeller remover. We got a right angle USB-C. It makes it easier to plug into the O4 VTX. And a bag of hardware for servicing. Alright, now let's have a look at the Flywoo DJI O4 Lite wide-angle lens, 155 degrees kit, and ND filter set. So ND filters help protect the camera lens and allows you to lower the shutter speed for more motion blur while flying quickly. where the center will still remain visibly sharp. This gives it more of a cinematic effect. At first it looks confusing, but to explain it clearly, these are empty shells that are basically adapters to help you mount your O4 Lite camera module into any FPV drone frame, usually designed for the DJI O3 or DJI O4 Pro. As a bonus, a lens is built in and it increases your O4 Lite's field of view to 155 degrees. So as you can see, this one is for frames with DJI O4 Pro mounting styles, and this one is for DJI O3 mounting styles. That mounting style is similar to Walk Snail Moonlight as well. So with this 20mm wide housing, you can now adapt the wide-angle O4 Lite into almost any modern frame system, such as my 4-inch or any other frame that can fit this in. So a CNC backing plate is included, a bunch of hardware and screws, and a microfiber cloth, and what looks to be some sort of silicone pad. So to install your O4 Lite module, simply just push it into the back. Take one of those little pads, and I stuck it on the metal there because I guess they don't want you to cause vibrations onto this copper area. Press the backing plate in and use the supplied screws and just screw it in. Just as simple as that. A really elegant solution. The front portion has tabs to slide in a Flywoo ND filter designed specifically for the system. These housings already come with a clear UV filter, so just remove it with your fingernails by sliding it off carefully and simply just slide in your ND filter. So I found the ND32 to be really good in harsh sunlight, and the ND16 is good for lower sunlight cloudy levels. Now before we go for a flight, let's charge the 1S LiPos using Flywoo's newest EasyPower battery chargers. They sent me a 65W power adapter, and to keep things simple and fast, this is the only one I recommend to use for both of these chargers for normal operation. And here we have a 1S and 2S Easy Charger. The 65W adapter comes with a USB-C cable and the brick. The 1S and 2S chargers come with handy instructions, and the 1S charger can plug up to 6 1S HV LiPos and features both A30 and PH 2.0 connections. Just a little bit of a warning though, do not plug in 2 LiPos on the same channel or you'll damage something. The 2S charger is very similar in design, however you can plug up to 4 2S HV LiPos. The Firefly takes 1S HV LiPos only, so today we'll just focus on the 1S charger. Operation is actually quite simple. After plugging it in, it just starts charging to 4.35V, and when it's almost complete, a green light just starts flashing. When it's finished, it's solid green. If you want to bring them to storage level, simply hold the button down for 2 seconds, and the lights will be blue. That's it. To keep costs down versus more expensive options on the market, it basically just lacks a LCD screen. And there doesn't seem to be a way to power it with an external LiPo. So because we have a pigtail coming out from one side and a 1S O4 BEC, the weight's kind of lopsided. So what I like to do is when I put in my battery, I have the pigtail from the battery on the other side. So just to balance the weight a little bit, and maybe it'll fly a little bit better. So right now I'm just duct taping the quad to the floor, and I'm going to show you a comparison between the Flywoo 155 degrees lens and without it. So here's the wide angle view, and it's really easy to pull off the lens. Just wiggle it out. And here's the standard view. So you can see it's quite a big difference. The wider the frame allows for a more dynamic video. All right, time for the maiden flight. So for all the flights, I used the 750 mile 1S LiPo. The quad itself has a low fixed camera tilt, but it flew much faster than I expected. Electronic stabilization in this footage is off, and my settings are 4x3, 4K 60, 1/125 shutter speed, and the lowest ISO you can go with an ND32, and sharpness is +1. Looking through the goggles, the footage actually looked very smooth to the eye, so the camera is well dampened. I was pleasantly surprised and the gummy stack did its job well. I did not experience jello or any major vibrations through the footage. Because of its tiny size, it's really easy to gap stuff. Yeah, well, sort of. It's probably a skill issue. This quad is sort of advertised as a pocket-sized 4K filming urban explorer, which is perfect for travel and shooting proximity stuff. So the range does feel quite limited, not by the VTX, but by the receiver antenna. My transmitter is set at 100 milliwatts, and I did fly behind a couple trees behind my line of sight and had a failsafe where it just fell to the ground. I recommend not to go more than 50 meters, or it may failsafe easily in this type of scenario. Obviously, keep an eye in your OSD for a healthy link to your transmitter. I did crash a few times, and it is durable, nothing broke. Only one prop bent a tiny bit, and it just kept going. The wide-angle lens, however, almost popped out just halfway during one really hard faceplant crash. I pushed it back in and it was good as new. The quad is actually quite quiet and just makes a really cute sound. Nobody actually cares when you fly this, or they might not even notice it. I mean, a Dragonfly is wider than this quad. For the handling and the agility, it was very stable and easy to fly smooth. But through the sticks, it actually felt sort of stiff, especially while flicking left to right or doing some hard corners or a sudden split S. In the PID tune, the I number is quite high. Most likely they did that to fight the effects of winds or wobbles. Perhaps playing with that number by lowering it can make the quad turn more playfully. It has no problem pulling out of a dive. It's actually very smooth. While power looping, it's a little difficult to catch, so I bumped the ground, but I'm still learning the quad. While looking for prop wash, I definitely found it. It's actually quite common in tiny quads, so otherwise it's super fun. It's definitely tuned for fast cruising and some sweeping turns, but it's not going to turn on a dime like a tiny whoop. I think having a lighter LiPo like the 450 would have been much better for freestyle. So right now we're in the Gyroflow software. I'm going to show you what I did to remove this border. So right now I'm just going to toggle on stabilization, and you can see you can still see all this stuff on the side just kind of shifting left and right into the frame. I turned the smoothness down to about 5%, 5 to 10%. So it keeps the frame nice and wide. So now you can see all the frame is barely stabilizing. The quad's actually quite smooth even in the wind. Very impressive too, I must say. So right now it's 4:3. You can just crop it. You can just go proportional, which is 16:9, right? So now it's cropped the top and the bottom, so it's a little better, but now you still see the edges. So what I like to do is change the field of view. So I try 0.89 at first, and you can still see some vignetting, some props in view, so you can just lower it from there, and maybe you try 0.85 and you see the props in view is very little and you barely don't see any of the frames anymore. So play with that number, the field of view, 0.85 to 0.89 until you're satisfied, and play with the smoothness as well. But just try to fly smooth in general. Whoops. So as I said earlier, I felt like the quad felt a little too rigid through the sticks, so I wanted it to feel more playful. Found it really hard to gap things because of just how it flew. The default tune was something up here. It was the eye gain was very high, which makes the quad very stable, especially cruising, and it won't wobble in the wind as much, and it's really good at that. And what I did was I just dragged it down and just kept test flying until I was comfortable with the agility. So one thing I noticed was when you fly against the sun, it shows the reflection of the silver housing. But it didn't bother me too much because I'm not looking for full quality in this type of drone. But I believe if you can somehow find a way to take it apart, paint it black, or you could wait for a V2 version of this, then it could definitely minimize the issue. So now you know all about this little 4K Firefly. I totally recommend it to all new users and old users alike. It's a great tiny quad to film 4K. It picks up speed easily and it's quite efficient too, and can fly over 4.5 minutes with a 750 1S LiPo. At sub 60 G, it expands new horizons to fly and film 4K ultra wide in places where you usually wouldn't, as long as the people around you don't mind it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're wondering where to buy this stuff, I have all the affiliate links in the description below. If you purchase from those links, it helps me out a little bit to support this channel. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.